In the small, secluded town of Ravenwood, nestled deep within the eerie embrace of an ancient forest, there stood a house unlike any other. The people of Ravenwood had always known it as the Durst Manor, but its true name was whispered in hushed tones, the House of Shadows. It was a place that bore the weight of centuries, and its history was shrouded in darkness. On a moonless night, in the heart of autumn, young Sarah Jennings found herself standing before the imposing double doors of the Durst Manor. The chill in the air made her shiver as she hesitated, unsure if her curiosity was stronger than her fear. The townsfolk had always warned her to stay away, but the allure of the legend surrounding the house was too strong to resist. As she raised a trembling hand to the massive door, a sudden gust of wind rattled the branches of the surrounding trees, sending a cascade of dried leaves spiraling around her. It was as though the very forest itself was urging her to turn back. But Sarah, fueled by youthful curiosity and a touch of recklessness, pushed open the creaking door and stepped into the darkness beyond. The floor was dimly lit, with flickering candles casting long, unsettling shadows on the ornate wallpaper. Goosebumps prickled her skin, and her heart pounded in her chest as she moved from room to room, each more unsettling than the last dot. And then she heard it, the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoing from somewhere within the house. The footsteps were slow and deliberate, sending a shiver down her spine. Her pulse quickened as she realized she was not alone. Someone or something was with her in the House of Shadows. With each passing step, the footsteps drew nearer, but there was no sign of the entity that created them. Panic welled up inside Sarah as she fumbled for her flashlight, casting a trembling beam of light around her. The walls seemed to close in, the shadows twisting and writhing in response to her fear. Then, just as suddenly as they had begun, the footsteps ceased. The oppressive silence that followed was almost unbearable. Sarah's breaths came in ragged gasps as she strained her senses to detect any movement. It was as if time itself had frozen, leaving her trapped in the heart of the darkness. And then, from the inky blackness before her, emerged a shadowy figure. It was formless, an indistinct silhouette, and yet its presence was undeniably malevolent. A shiver ran down Sarah's spine as she realized that the goosebumps-inducing entity she had heard, of whose existence was only known in whispers, was now before her. The entity moved closer, and Sarah's flashlight flickered, casting eerie, erratic shadows on the walls. She wanted to scream, to flee, but her body refused to obey. She was paralyzed, caught in the grip of the House of Shadows, and the entity that dwelled within Dot in that chilling moment. Sarah understood the true horror of the Durst Manor, the darkness it held, the secrets it guarded, and the entity that roamed its halls. She could only hope that somehow she would live to tell the tale of the footsteps behind the door, a tale that would haunt her for the rest of her days.